します。
So
just starting with a little bit of loosening the rotation. Working with waves, nice and big. Stretching up nice, deep breath in, all the way up. And releasing through the knees, just keeping the length through the whole spine, all the way down. Rolling up through the hips, curling up through the spine, and back up. And one more. Okay, good. Okay, stretching up and over to the side. And again. Okay, just working the shoulders, so just coming up as high as you can, and then lowering them down, and then just working the front, curling to the front, and to the back, and just rolling through it. Just trying to get the biggest range of motion, really in the full range of motion. And then just wind it all together. And changing direction. Good. Okay, just doing the same thing with the chest, the torso. Just stretching forwards and pulling back, far back as you can, and then over to one side, And over to the other. And again to the front. And back. One side. And the other. And just coiling it. Nice big movements. And in both directions. Good. Okay, we'll do the same with the hips, just pressing forwards. And pulling them back. To the side. And the other side. Oh, again, forward. Back. Side. Side. And then nice big circles. And really moving through all the directions. Good. And just playing with the hips a little bit. Just raising one side, pulling it up. So if you're trying to motivate from the hip, and drawing the foot off the ground with it. And just to the other side, just drawing the hip up. Up, 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 up. And just play with both sides. And a kind of strange one, just rolling the hips in a figure of 8. So it's kind of raise, loose. Just really trying to create mobility, one hip at a time. Good. Okay, just working the knees. Nice. Tight circles. In both directions. Yeah, stretching the knees back. And down. And back one more. And down. Good. Okay, good. Just bringing both feet out, using the hands as support. As much as you can with the knees straight. Okay, just from here, and then what you're gonna do is just raise from the pelvis up, yeah, and just play with basically hinging from the pelvis down. Use the hands as you need them, so you can use them as a support or not. Come to the legs, or just keep them in front of the body. Just play a few times, about 8 or 10 times. Just really hinging from the pelvis, coming down, keeping the knees as straight as you can. Down. And down. Now 5, 6, 7, and last one, 8. And this one, just let the body hang forward. Well, mosquito. Good. And then see if you can get the elbows into the ground. Down. And let the head just hang into the body. Try and really release through the lower back. Okay, just walking the hands forward, straighten, and now really trying to pull the hips back a little bit, down a little bit. So really as if you're pulling the hips away from the hands. So really trying to create length through the whole spine. Lower back as straight as possible. Nice deep breaths. There we go. Just bringing the hand up so it's in line with the shoulder and just stretching up. In this case, just coming back down. Do about 8 each side. Just bringing down and stretching up. I'm really trying to create movement in the torso. Good. And changing side. Okay, good. Okay, we'll come down to the ground a little bit. So just to work the shoulders. So this is just a bit of a mobility exercise. Just start with the hands basically the palms facing you. See if I can show it a bit better. This way. And you're just going to each time just bring the hands to kind of 90 degrees each time. So you come to the front here, to the side. Yeah, and then all the way around if you can. So just basically working each time at a kind of 90-degree angle. Just release one hand at a time. Through. End up in these 2 positions. Just work the hands through. Obviously, you can only go so far. You can only go 4 positions. There. Good. And you reverse it. Good. Okay, now stay in this position with the fingers pointing towards you. Just start to rock through the body. So as if you keep the palms in contact and just pass the weight of the body through. So you're just kind of rotating through the shoulders. Nice exercise for the wrist. Good. And then what you're going to do is just play with basically lifting the palms up. So lift the palms and keep the fingers on. Now, as much as you need, keep the weight back onto the feet and the heels. So the more weight you have in the hands, the harder this is on the wrist. So just experiment a little bit with the weight and basically pressing the weight into the fingers. A little bit like the stretches we do with the hands, but you're using the weight of the body to create the stretch instead. Good. And just release it and see if you can come basically with the fingers pointing in, but you're basically going to coil the hands in this way and as far as you can in this way, and do the same thing, just rolling through. It's a little bit harder, the position's a little bit more tricky. Just the same thing, just passing weight through. Good. And in this case, just release it, fingers pointing towards you. You know, the same thing, just raising the palms at the ground. What you want to do is kind of get into the first knuckle of the finger. So just raising up, and again, keep as much weight back as you need, but it's kind of not too much. So you just raise and lower. Raise and lower. Just looking to create some flexibility in the wrist. Extension through the fingers. Okay, the next one's kind of tricky. In this case, really keeping the weight back in the body, not too much pressure on. You're just going to have the palms up, the thumbs pointing forwards, and just on the back of the wrist. Not too much weight in the wrist. Just play with it. And if it's kind of comfortable for you, you just start to again press weight forward in kind of small rotations. Not too much weight, so keeping most of the weight back. And again, it's just about trying to create mobility in the wrist. In the old days, they used to do press-ups on these kind of positions, and this was kind of, in England, they banned the exercise because it's too tough on the wrist. It's not really designed for loading the weight of the body. So just like this, where you can control the weights, okay. Do the same thing, bring the thumbs pointing towards you. And again, this is a bit more of a difficult position, so the fingers are out. And again, just press weight into it. It's a little bit like applying a Nikyo in these kind of positions. Just against the wrist. You might want to keep more weight back in the body. And again, if it's comfortable, just work pressing weight through the hands. Just to create some flexion. Good. Okay. Just come back into this position and nice and lightly. Just play with raising the hands up, one side and the other. And I just want to now create a little bit of movement in the hands. So keep one hand down in this case and just roll through these positions, but a little bit more flexible now. So I can use a bit more fluidity in the movements because most of the weight's now in the other hand as a support. So just now looking at kind of a fluidity through the movements. You can roll the palm, roll up onto the fingers and down, press the wrist up. Just play a little bit with the wrist. Also the joint in the elbow, the shoulder, everything's quite loose. Good. And then just changing the side, do the same thing. And just play with basically contact through the wrist. And press as much weight through it as is comfortable. Okay, good. You just shake the wrists out here. Good. We'll do a little bit with the hips and the knees, the lower body. So just coming in this position, a kind of sit position. Just bringing the knee inside, down and basically towards the foot. And if you can bring both knees down into the ground and using the hands as support, just bringing the hips down. Nice and easy stretch. Just starting to open the hips up. And just do the same thing basically with the body flat into the ground and do the same thing, just drop the knees in so you've got a bit of a tighter stretch through the body. Keep the shoulder blades back on the ground. It's got a bit of a wider stretch now. So bringing the knees down, especially the outside knee. Really trying to open the hip out. Good. Okay, just coming up. We just have the legs straight, feet pointing up. The first thing, just stretch up slightly. So just lower, heighten the rib cage, lengthen it, and then just start to bring the hands. This is not really about touching the feet. It's about really, again, this kind of pike position with the body where you're kind of pulling the chest towards the legs. And just use the hands to guide the body. Use the breath. Create a sense of length through the body. Good. Okay, so just doing one side, just fold one leg inside, open the other leg out. Yeah, and just reaching towards the toe. Should be able to get a little bit of a deeper stretch. So a bit more on the side of the body. And then just come to the other side to the bent knee and just fold over the knee this way. Try and keep the other leg straight. If you need to use the hands as a support, just folding the body forwards towards the knee. And release it. And then just do the same on the other side. And starting with a straight leg, just bringing the body towards. Good, I'm releasing it and then moving towards the bent knee. Good, and then as much as you can, both legs straight out. Just try and sit into it a little bit, so trying to get the hips to flex forward a little bit. You use the hands forward. Good, and just doing the same, working one side. Use the hand, usually do is take the toe or take the foot, and use the opposite hand now to really open out to the side. So basically keeping the torso straight, the torso in line with the leg, and work over the top of the head. And the other side. Okay, back to the middle. And then with both hands, see if you can come forward and touch the feet. And again, this is really not about touching the feet, it's about bringing the chest towards the ground. So do whatever you need to start to have the feeling of the chest being pressing, as if someone's kind of pushing you from behind. Just try and get the hips to release. And back up. Good, nice and slow, just releasing the legs. Okay, just have the feet forward, just pointing the toes here, just to release the legs. Okay, just shake the legs. Oh, I can't do it on this floor. See if you can get the legs to do that. If you can get the legs to do this. I can't do it on this floor. It's too slippy. Good. And then in this case, just work the back of the legs. It's just to release the legs. You're basically going to press them into the ground. Good. And last one, kind of butterfly stretch. Bringing the feet up as close as you can. You can use the forearms and the elbows just to press gently down. Just sit into it a little bit. And you can either kind of rock with the body into it or just press down and hold it, whichever feels more comfortable. Good. Okay, good. And we'll just start in with a little bit of ukemi, so nice and light from the ground, and really working with the hands, so maximizing the contact just coming through, swinging through the legs, changing side. Nice full contact with the body. It's a kind of massage for the back. Slippy flow. Good. Doing great. Nice. Good. Good. And just working from a standing position. It's about going to the ground kind of flexibly. So just work from a standing position. You can even work really static position and just coming into the ground, coiling the body in, down, and back up. If you've got a bigger space, you can also use the forward rolls. I can't really do them in this space, but just have the sense of coming down, spiraling into the ground, making contact, softening through the body. And then in a nice balanced position here, and just raising up. But nice and playful with the body. Coming into the ground, nice and soft. And up. There we go. Good. And you can play with a few ways of kind of reaching back up into the ground. From this way. I usually come up into kind of a squat position, this kind of position. What I like in this position is really you can just stack the body into the center. And then from here, you just basically have the feeling of begin kind of raising up through it. The key thing is this, I'm not really, although I use the arms as contact, I'm not really relying on the arms to bring me back up. So in this case, I'm in these kind of positions and then coming back up. This will take a lot of effort because I'm basically doing every time I kind of press up through the body. So what I want to do in this case is really use the muscles of the lower body. So the arms are really, I'm just using as kind of light contact and kind of guides. And I want all the heavy work, heavy lifting really being done in the lower body. So you can do that one. The other one is you can also come to this position here and then just raise up through the back leg this way and come up. So just play a little bit. Just trying to kind of, you're basically going to stack the body on the lower body, on the legs. Really using the back side of the body to come up, literally the back side. There we go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good. Good. Okay, so just shake the body off a little bit. Shake the legs, all the limbs, the arms, to the feet and the hands. And kind of circle them as well. So loosen them off. Just shake the whole body. Shake the caravan. Good. And we're just coming to tiny henko, so just nice basic. Really find that, again, you've got a sense of stacking on the lower body. Find the extension, sink in, and find the ground here. Do this in nice 2 steps, kind of pressing in here. Do a sense of the ground, extension through, and then holding it here. So. Nice. Good. And then we're a little bit more fluid. So come into the position here, and then just really have the sense of spiraling through the spine actually. So it's really a sense much more kind of softer quality sound. This coming in, and this has a kind of rigidity to it. So try and get now something that's a little bit more softer. Okay, so the connection between the limbs much softer. The sense of flexion through the spine, all the way to the top of the head. Just really focusing on this kind of the whole part of the spine from the hips to the crown of the head. Should feel kind of free in a way. Nice. Nice. Good. Working with Marotadori, so a nice strong extension grounding down. You're really focusing on the flexion in the joint here, especially this hand as you come through, and then rolling up, coiling down this way. Again, just focusing on it. Stability, but also the sense of flexibility with the joints. Nice. Nice.
I have to leave the class as I have
Okay, Bernie.
my younger son. See you tomorrow morning. Thanks.
Thanks, Bernie.
Nice evening. Yeah. Bye. Bye.
Bye. Good tomorrow, Bernie.
See you tomorrow.
Nice. Okay, good. So we'll look a little bit along this same thing. We're kind of spiraling with the hands. Imagine a Shomenuchi this way, and you're going to come into an Iriminage. So in this case, really kind of focusing on the spiral that's going to transmit from the hip work. So imagine that the hips are going to initiate this movement here, and then the hips are going to initiate this spiral through to here, and then again, really big spiral coming from the hips in and pressing through. So just starting in a kind of static way. And this is just in a way to focus on the connection between the hands and the hips. Here, this, and down this way. Do both sides. and down. Let's see. Yeah, and then just looking at something a little bit more flexible. So raising in, coiling, and pressing. Now in this case, focus on the handwork, the kind of connection with the body, but really the key is in the footwork. So really compressing, feel the compressions in the feet don't really stop. The sense of this, compressing and then pressing through this way. Just basically keep the feet, keep the weight being pressed through. So pressing in and through this way. Nice and flexible. Trying to get this quality of something flexible but also heavy. The arms, like the best image, this feeling of like thick ropes connected to the center. Nice. Okay, good. And then we'll look at the Yokominuchi attack. So in this case, you've got the backhand coming in and striking down this way. So what you're going to do, the first kind of basic movement is now to slide out to the side and blend against the arm here, strong extension. And the backhand's going to strike down towards the head. So just practice this move, left side, right side. It's a nice move. You're going to slide in and coil in this way. That really has a sense of kind of sword work through the hands here. So the hands are doing separate things, but it's got a sense of the body really cutting in. So this is really to cut the attack off before it's really started. Here. This. This. Okay, good. So sometimes this gets done as like a kind of double chop in a way like this with both hands doing this. But in this case, the outside hand, feel this one's really kind of blending with the attack. So what this one's doing is like a spiraling movement out. So really like a kokyu movement. And this one's doing a really strong attempt to the head. So the feelings with the backhand really coming in quite straight and straight towards the face, towards the eyes in this case. But in this case, just get this feeling that the both hands are doing something independent. So this one's really got a sense of rolling, and this one's really got a sense of striking in. So you've got this kind of double quality in the hands. One's blending and one's striking. This way. This, that way. Yeah, exactly. So. Nice. Okay, good. And then from this position, you come in through here. The key to this is keep this extension on. So I keep the extension here. This one strikes over and it goes inside this arm this way. So the arm's basically, well, the hand's here. I'm going to use this arm now to press across, guide in, take the back, and then you're into your Iriminage this way. This is a cover to get to the back, to get to the rear. So you blend in here, keep this extension on, coil over, find the back, and then you're into your Iriminage here, this way. So it goes here, 1, 2, 3. That's it. Yes, in this case, just watch it. One mistake tends to happen is with this hand coming here and then coming inside to the outside of the arm. So coming into this position here. Now, if I do this against a strong attack, this arm, the extension basically collapses and the strike's basically coming towards the body this way. So what I need is this really strong extension here in the front, and I use the arm here. So it's a bit like I'm guiding down the arm this way. So this is strongly out. It's striking here, and then it basically folds across this way. So as I'm going through, this arm's always extended this way. Later, we'll do this next. Is basically where you blend this all together. But basically, what's protecting me is this arm. This is protecting the strike from going towards the head, towards my head. So in this case, just stick to basically the inside of the arm. So I kind of stroke down the arm this way, this and this, and then into the back this way. This keeps you safe this way. That's it. Yeah, good. Good. Yeah. And just play with this now flexibly. I think this is one of the really harder movements to do, but it's actually a very effective movement. So imagine now that basically the Yokomen's just coming straight through. So I do the same movement, but this all now blends together straight through. So now the key to this move is really this extension through the arm. So you got this and this straight to the back. So I'm gonna basically use the front hand to guide the strike across the body this way. So this is actually a very useful strike. You can use this against quite a lot of attacks that come in, but in a sense, what I'm doing now is cutting the basic this way, and you just now blend this movement together, so raising and blending out to the back, and then the Iriminage is just here. But the key in this one is just this very first move, the focus. This. So my aim is to, as if I'm kind of sliding past the attack and finding the back at the same time. So.
Idea now. This is Michael.
Yeah.
So this was the last thing that you showed.
Yeah.
This Kinonagare, and I'm not meeting the other arm of the uke, but I kind of put this away so that they go by me, or is it so that we will never meet physically?
I'm basically in this. I've got a knife to show, but you've got to basically imagine in this case the strike's coming down this way, and what I'm doing with this hand is with the extension basically coiling around it, so that the striking hand's going to slide across the back of the arm. Okay. You can watch Taijutsu do this video. He does it really beautifully. So the sense is like what I'm doing is kind of blending up with the arm, and then as I move, I'm basically coiling the body past it. Basically, as the strike's coming, it's basically just going to kind of slip off the hand. And with my other hand, I'm just going to kind of catch it in that movement this way. Essentially, got this. The big mistake in this one is to try and defend myself with this hand. So if I get the arms crossed over in this case like this, this is when I get caught. So if the attack's very strong, it'll just kind of collapse into the structure. So what I need in this case is the outside hand to basically be protecting their head. You see, it's just going to kind of, it's a bit like kind of swimming in a way. So it's like this. The arm's going to really just protect the head as I slide in this way. This is a pretty hard move to show.
Thank you.
Got it. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Battery. Okay. In a way, this is the really hard kinaga. You also see Ikkyo, Nikkyo, Sankyo all done from this kind of blending. That's a very tricky kind of move to get. So we'll just finish with the one that goes to the inside. So more of the fluid kinaga form. This time the strike's coming this way. You're just going to step in and strike with the backhand, and the same kind of order. I've got the front hand's blending, and the backhand striking this way. So you're going to now change the feet. Blend with the hand, striking towards the center. Now in this case, because the strike's more complete, what I can't do is come back over the top and blend with it. So what I'm going to do is just allow the strike to finish this way, and I'm going to blend it down. So this hand now strikes the head, presses onto the arm, and then it coils this way. Coils here, and then I step into the back. So now that movement basically to cover the back in this way. So now you come inside. Yeah, the hand that strikes the head now comes onto the arm. Yeah, coils it over, and then I'm into the back. And then the Iriminage is the same this way. So now it's the striking hand that's going to protect me. Comes here, 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 and then I've got this sense of coiling from the hip. This. And then the same way that you get with the Shomenuchi, the sense of that the hip coiling with the hand from this position, you got the same sense here. The hip coils into the arm. This, and then into the back this way. Come into here. So this is kind of long Kinanagari form. This, this. Wow. Good. And last minute, so just play with these entries. So you basically got coming into the side here, drawing into the back here, opening it out this way, or you got a feeling coming in inside this way, right to the back this way. All of them, the really key to them is this idea. You can also provoke from the Shomenuchi coming into the back. And the key, really, these are all kind of covers for me to enter into the back. So the Irimi part of it is this idea of just getting right to the back, and the throw is done from this position. So, let's play a little bit with these entries. Great. Great. Nice. Great. Okay, we'll stop there. Very good. Hi. どうもありがとうございました。
どうも、ありがとうございました。